With the rise of both arcades and fighting-based TV shows, such as Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the beat-em-up genre certainly established its place in the world during the late 70s and through the 80s. When home console gaming took off in the early 90s, there were many failed examples of arcade ports that just didn't have the same feel on console. However, there are a few gems that most people think of when they reminisce on the best of console beat-em-ups. For me, two games come to mind. Double Dragon for one, the other one is Streets of Rage. Known as the Bare Knuckle series in Japan, Sega developed and published this trilogy of beat-em-ups that practically defined the genre. Each installment featured something new to the series, such as plot development, new characters and weapons, and a few other changes to gameplay. All three entries to this series featured the compositions of Yuzo Koshiro with contributions from Motohiro Kawashima, who gave a few tracks on the second installment. These tracks are best described as fusions between electric music and funk, house, dance, pretty much anything you may have heard in a nightclub in the 90s, which is where Koshiro says he drew his influences from. A huge thanks to Koshiro and Motohiro for these awesome tracks. We will visit Streets of Rage 2 with a tune called Back to the Industry on today's episode of Stick to Games. Alright, hey guys, welcome back. So Streets of Rage 2, Back to the Industry. This is an interesting drum part because we have a 16-beat rhythm, but also a syncopated snare drum part in which we come in on a lot of offbeats for the snare drum. Thankfully, our kick drum part is pretty easy. It's going to help us keep time there. If you don't have a lot of experience with syncopation, what we're going to do is we're going to break it down in terms of right hand versus left hand. So we know that our 16-beat patterns means we're going to be playing 16th notes on the top end. Don't let the open and close hi-hats trip you up too much. Right now, let's focus strictly on getting that syncopated rhythm down. So let's start with the 16 notes, and we'll accent where our snare drum would go. Good job. Now we're going to bring all those accents down to the snare drum. Take the snare drum away again. Let's add that open and close hi-hat before we move any farther. Now, bring your snare drum back in. You're going to take a little bit of a break to let your hi-hat sizzle. So make sure that you skip your left hand before going into your first downbeat for your snare drum, and then again before going down into the downbeat on 4 on snare drum. Alright, good job. Now let's try to throw our kick drum in. Practicing that over and over again, that pretty much gives you the entire introduction. So for your first ending fill, all you're going to want to do is double up on your left hand and then continue the rest of the beat the same exact way. The best rudiment to relate it here to would be a Swiss Army triplet led by the left. We know that Swiss Army triplets would go left, left, right, left, left, right. So it'll be left, left, right, tap. Left, left, right, tap. Now add your tap immediately before the first tap. And then you try to play the whole lick. So talking about the fill at the end of the introduction, you have a double up in your left hand after playing your syncopated rhythm. And then what you're gonna wanna do is turn that into a left led paradiddle with your right hand touching the hi-hat. So the rest of the piece is pretty much the exact same altogether. Then you'll simply repeat it however many times that you feel like doing until you get comfortable with it. This is a really cool backbeat because it's teaching you to use your hands in different ways, and it's giving you, for beginners, it's giving you an introduction to syncopation without having to have the strongest of hand coordination just yet. So it's definitely a precursor to complete 4-way independence. Let's see if we can run it top down. Alright guys, so that about wraps up today's lesson. Thanks a lot for checking me out. Really cool game, really cool track, so make sure you go check those out. You guys know I have transcriptions available on my website, so make sure you check out that link below. And if you find yourself using this pattern in something that you've done, please record it and send it to me. I'd love to see that. And also make sure you follow me so you can see when my next video comes out. And if you have any requests, drop them in comments below. I'll be sure to check them out. Till next time, guys.